And we are back. So, last we left off, the Fellowship had pursued the fleeing vampire Freeze as he fled the Chateau de Bonneau with the corpse of Lady Emma. Apparently he was going to hide away and probably recuperate in Pig's Gutter. However, with a very good tracking roll from Seamus McCready, you managed to discern his location and set upon him before he fully rejuvenated. He did attempt to ambush you within the walls, or not the walls, within the tattered remnants of the buildings of Pig's Gutter, as he began to raise the very corpses that littered the streets, and all hell was about to break loose, had not some very lucky rolls take place, as Bragadine was almost cleaved in two. Very close. You were 7 off from being just killed outright, Bragadine.
Holy smoke.
However, that did not happen. Instead, he was merely mangled and is but half the man he was before, laying in the mud of this peasant town. Marius was ambushed by Freeze as he launched himself through one of the thin, well, not necessarily thin, but not exactly bulwark of masonry that was these hovels that these Bretonnian peasants were living in, and grabbed a hold of him and was going to choke the life out of him. But Marius is not a man to be trifled with, and fought back with his bare hands, knocking him aside and then digging into his shoulder with his pick as the man fled, while the vampire fled. And as he was fleeing, Seamus had an opportunity as he saw Freeze launch himself into the air, attempting to flee once again. And with the rain of 2 pistols, boom, boom, the vampire was shot from the sky. It landed in the street. Seamus hobbled over to him, put the pistol in his mouth, and before Freeze could give any retort, blew out the backside of his skull, littering the muddy pig shit streets with what's left of his gray matter and the decayed, disgusting blood that circulates in his undead form. And we're going to pick up right in that moment, Seamus, as the smoke from your barrel is billowing out of a hole in the back of Freeze's head as he goes limp in the streets, unmoving, his eyes kind of just staring blankly outwards in shock.
If possible, I'd like to drag the body back out to the main street.
Okay.
If it's not there already.
He's significantly bigger
Damn it.
and heavier than Bragadine, so I will need a strength check.
Let's see. Yeah. I failed. 46 out of 30.
To reach down and you begin to drag him. It's just you're not making a lot of headway. He's kind of really stuck in the mud, and you're kind of at this point, Bragadine is probably in a bit of shock as one of the peasant women that he may have had a dalliance with was coming to eat his face off, but it had fallen flat just in the nick of time as Bragadine, or as Seamus laid low the vampire lord. Bragadine, what are you doing in this moment?
Is it over? Where? Can I see any of them?
You can see past the shuffling forms of some of Seamus's horse and your uncle's horse, as it looks like your uncle is dismounting, and Giles is heading towards where Seamus is. And you do see a boot Bragadine a armored plate boot, and it is the familiar armor of Sir Mihail Freeze, and he is laying still. Seamus apparently hunched over him.
Seamus, Meredith, help me. I try to call out. I can't get up. I mean, I'm just too weak.
You cannot get up. And I need an endurance test from Bragadine with all your negatives.
Okay. Let me find out what the number is before we roll so we can just really get into my great reactions. 10, 52 would be what I need to beat, but I got a negative 30, I believe. Yeah, I got a negative 30, so we're looking at 22. Got to beat 22.
Okay, come on then.
All right, and we rolled 70.
Okay. Do you have any fortune left?
No.
Okay, Bragadine. The wound is so bad.
No.
Even with being healed properly, if infection doesn't set in, you have a -5 permanent loss to your agility characteristic. So you can just mark 5 points off of agility. I'll go ahead and do it here in my little private sheet.
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
It's fine. It's fine. Okay. It only brings it down to a 27. It's fine.
28, bro.
28.
That's where I started.
Sorry, 28. So.
Still better than mine.
It is still better than his, even then.
Wow.
But yes, that just happened, and you are going to need to seek out medical attention soon. You can tell that you're badly hurt, or somebody might die of gangrene on the way home. Who knows? Regardless, though, you're doing that currently. Marius Wolf, you hear the commotion. And you hear the shots ring out, and everything goes still. What are you doing?
Are the men still close to me?
The men are behind you. If you were to glance over towards them, and you would see that a few of them are kind of looking around, kind of not necessarily in shock, but confused. And one of them is kind of poking a corpse with the tip of his halberd, just kind of poking it, seeing if it'll move. And they're not exactly sure what's going on.
I'll call out to them, I know I know a few words in Bretonian.
You do know a few words, yes.
But I'll just try to convey to them to follow me. I'm going to use hand motions and such. Come on, lads. Follow me. And make my way back to the center of town, I guess.
Okay. And it's just a few paces. You're all but right there.
Oh, okay.
As you basically just turn around, and you're in the main thoroughfare, the muddy muck that is this pig's gutter street. You look to your left and you see at this point Seamus, Giles has reached you and is looking down at the remains of Mihail Freeze. Well, that's it then. He's dead.
How do you think you can move him?
Why? Why don't we just leave him? Be done with this place while we can.
Because I want to make sure he's dead. Everybody knows he's dead.
Very well. And he'll begin to help you, Seamus. Where are you trying to take the body of Freeze?
Just to, like, the middle of the street.
Okay, easily done. That's not too far at this point. You were doing it just slowly. With his help, you easily get it there within just a few moments.
And then I'll go over and do a heal check on Bragadine.
Okay. You walk away from Freeze, as you leave Giles standing there with him. And move over to Bragadine. Go ahead and give me your heal check.
Seamus,
Right.
did you slay him?
He's dead.
So my father is dead.
Your father? Your father's been dead. We'll get to this later. You're not speaking right.
It hurts so much, Seamus.
Let me look at your back.
Oh!
27 out of minus 10, 41.
27 out of 41. Okay.
Nice.
You can recover your toughness bonus and wounds, Bragadine.
Oh, sweet.
Maris is gonna walk over to Freeze if he sees him.
Okay, you would see his body. You see Giles looking down at him, just kind of almost studying him in a strange way. Look of disgust on his face. And as you begin to move closer, you see Giles look away as he hears you approaching. And as he does, the
I knew it.
vampire
I knew it.
reaches out and grabs a hold of your uncle's leg and plants his mouth into his thigh, and he begins to slurp the fresh, thick fluid from your uncle's main artery in his leg as he calls out and crumples to the ground. And Freeze stands once again, breathing heavily. Marius Wolf, we are back in combat. It is your turn.
Oh boy.
Like the red viper in the mountain, bro.
How close is he to me, I guess?
I will say he's within 20 feet.
Okay. That was going to determine if I used resolve. I guess I'm going in for an attack. Do I have my momentum for before, or is this fresh?
This is going to be fresh at this point.
Okay. Alright. I'm using the pick. Oh boy! I gotta reroll.
Hope it's a crit.
It's not going to be. It's not bad though, but it's a 25 out of 50.
Well, rolled an 11. So you go to swing in. Oh shit! Let's see where this hits you. This hits you in your right arm, Marius, as you go to swing down, and his preternatural speed takes him to the side, and he doesn't have any weapons in his hand anymore. He has lost his sword. He lashes out with his claws, and you can see that the nails have elongated through the plate mail, and they slice deep into you. You can, if you have any armor on your right arm, you can sacrifice it. If not, you're going to take this critical hit.
I do have it, but I'm still gonna fall. I'm still gonna pass out or whatever.
Oh, you are.
But I will. Yeah.
Well, in that case, it's not going to matter then, because you're just going to. Is it going to take you past 0?
It will take me past 0.
Okay.
So I don't know if that matters.
If it takes you past 0, you get an automatic critical hit, so it's not going to matter at this point.
Okay.
Why don't you go ahead and roll me D100?
All right, here we go. Do I still have to sacrifice the armor?
No, you don't. No, there's no
Okay.
point, because, it would have done it anyway.
Okay. See. 18?
Not bad, not bad. He cuts into you and you gain 1 bleeding condition. However, you hit 0, so you lose consciousness. So you... and blood starts to spurt out of your wound and you just go unconscious right there. That's the end of your turn. And now it is going to be... Seamus McCready. It will be... Well, actually, technically it's his turn now. He can't quite cover the distance to the 2 of you. Seamus, your back is turned as you hear this commotion. You glance over your shoulder and you see the almost like the Terminator walking towards you. That is Mihail Freeze, and he gets to within about 10 paces of you, and it is your turn as he can do nothing else in this moment.
Can I take the pistol from Beno?
Sure.
Oh, I'll do that. Try to shoot him in the face.
Okay, go ahead and give me an attack roll. This is point blank, so you get a plus 20.
Mm-hmm. And it'll be like an aim shot, I guess. So whatever the penalty is for that.
It's a minus 10, so you'll have a plus 10 on this roll.
Plus 10. Ooh, that's a 15 out of 71.
15 out of 71. How much damage is that?
14.
Seamus, how does it look like when you lay low the vampire for a second time with the shot to the head?
Geez, point blank. Hopefully it just like blows part of his skull off.
Okay, you level it again this time, and you know, this time you meant it. As you, boom, the pistol goes off in your hand, and I'm gonna say like the left eye and the left portion of his head just kind of explodes outwards, and he falls down into the mud for a second time, and is laying still.
For good riddance, I'll shoot him one more time in the face.
Shoot him again. You take out your 4th and last pistol, standing over him, and boom! Open up another massive hole in his head. The body kind of twitches as you do so.
And then I'll look back to Bragadine. Make sure he doesn't get up. And then I probably see Marius on the ground now.
Yes, he's
Dead and
unconscious, bleeding.
I guess I'll go tend to his wounds.
Okay, you walk away from the corpse of the vampire again and walk over to Marius Wolf. Go ahead and give me a heal check.
Ooh, that's a 7 out of 41.
Okay. I'll say that you resolve his bleeding condition, and you can get his intelligence bonus and wounds back, Marius.
4.
4. Okay, good.
As I look around, if I see him over there, like, Seamus, go cut off his fucking head, and just kind of like lay back down.
Yes,
exhausted.
And, yes, as you lay back down, because yes, you do have a point of exhaustion now. You lay back down, and you look over, and you see the sunken features of Giles Beno.
Is he dead?
His eyes are wide and staring out. He's not blinking.
Giles.
Just laying there in the mud.
Giles.
You don't hear anything. No call back.
Are we still doing initiative order, or are we...
We're out of initiative at this point. As
All
I'm
right.
assuming Seamus is going to cut the man's head off.
No, Bragadine is. I stagger up, like leaning against the wall, and I pitifully draw my sword, and I will finish this. You claim to be my father, and I believe you, but
right.
I will be the one
out. Cut off his head
to put you down for the last time.
Go ahead and give me a weapon attack roll, Braggadine. Okay. Let's just see.
Yeah, I'm going to attack that and cut his head off.
Yeah, and it's an aimed shot, so you can give me a -10 on that. So
okay, so let me see. So 57 -10 to 47 -30. So I need a 17 or lower. All right, viewers. That's how it's been. Come on, let's hope for that 11. I'm closing my eyes. 11. It's a fucking 6. It's a 6.
Okay, I'll say with that. Yeah, with that you are able to heft it up, and even in your weakened state, it's more or less it has more to do with the craftsmanship, the fine weapon that you're wielding, the noble weapon, as it cleaves down and parts through the throat, missing the plate and the chain mail that this creature was wearing, and his head comes rolling off, and everything is quiet.
I collapse to my knees and fall down to my side next to his decapitated body.
I guess I'm last man standing right now.
You are currently the only man standing. You do see some of the men-at-arms are, at this point, they're kind of in shock. They're just kind of looking around, and they see the corpse of Freeze. Several of them look over at Giles.
Grab a torch, men. Go.
Yeah.
Grab it. We need fire.
I'll pull out the sword and walk over to Giles and just wait.
And just wait. What are you waiting for?
I'll wait a minute or two to see if he gets up. Undead style.
All right. You just kind of sit there looking at him, waiting for something to happen.
Come on, do it.
A fly lands on his eyeball, unmoving. Rubs its legs together and then flies away.
Alright. I assume he's dead, so I'll walk over to Marius and put an arm out.
Okay. Go ahead and hoist Marius up.
Grab it and get up.
Yep, get up. You're not doing too great. Arms looking pretty gnarled, but other than that,
back.
You're back once again. At this point, we are out of everything. The vampire has been slain. What would the three of you like to do in this moment?
I tell the men-at-arms to grab some fire from somewhere.
Okay.
And gather some wood and burn his corpse and his head.
Freeze?
Yeah.
And his head?
I've got an idea for the head, Braggadine, if you don't mind.
What? Oh, yes, Marius, what?
Is there you said there's fence posts, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah, there's plenty of, broken remnants of wood and fence and everything else.
I want to break off part of it and so it's sharp. And stab his head, skewer his head on it.
Okay, easily done.
Head on a pike style?
Yeah, and
Sweet.
Put it up in the center of the town.
Okay, you just kind of shuffle it to the center of the village, and as you move to the center of the village, Marius, is anybody else following?
Yeah, I'm staggering behind him. I'll get back up.
You're staggering behind him. Seamus, are you following?
Probably a little ways behind.
Okay. Marius, you're the first one to see then as you move towards the center of town. There's a bit, not really a square, it's more of just a large kind of open area where they probably used to herd some of the pigs, because there looks like there's shattered remnants of cages and things like that around here, and market stalls, and not a whole lot of trade happened to begin with, but there was some semblance of civilization here, even if it was just a smidge.
Yeah, just a town market.
Yeah, basically. Very, very simple. Nothing like Sealburg. Even old Sealburg. It's like primitive to the utmost. But in the center of town, there's it looks like a large wagon that's been overturned. And you see a body resting on the side of the overturned wagon, very serenely, in a white dress, long hair spilled across the side. You see the limp form of Lady Emma Benoit.
I'll take the pike with the head of Freeze on it and shove it into the ground, and then pick up Lady Emma and bring her over to Bragadine.
Okay, and Bragadine, you see her just laying there. He moves over. Her dress is stained with blood. Her chest specifically is just a mess as he brings her back to you.
I'm so sorry, Bragadine. Let us lay her to rest.
Emma. Sweet, sweet Emma. I can't bear to look at her. Maris,
I understand.
I can't.
It's
too much.
I'll walk away.
Okay.
And start to go outside of town.
What's the plan, Marius? What are you going to do with her?
Is there any kind of pristine patch of land?
I will say like close to Pig's Gutter,
a hill or something.
Not so much, but there are hills nearby. If you would like to just move up to one of the tops of one of these hills, there could be an easily piece of land if you're looking to bury her. That you could easily do. And Seamus, are you doing anything?
I'd follow Marius.
Okay. Are you going to help with the burial, Seamus?
Yes.
Okay. All right. The two of you set about moving to bury Lady Emma, while Bragadine, you discover that not only were you not a Benoit, but now you are the last of this shattered household, as your uncle is firmly dead. And after some time passes, you bury Emma. More men-at-arms, more people begin to gather, seeing men walking about, until you have a decent crowd of individuals looking to you, Bragadine. Peasants, men-at-arms, families, looking to you for guidance. What are you doing, Bragadine?
Where's the horses at?
At this point, we're way out of just blow for blow. We're going to kind of speed this up a little bit. So,
okay. I'm gonna actually
what would you like to do? Basically,
walk up to where Emma was laid to rest.
Yes, and Marius and Seamus have buried her at this point. Kind of last scoop on the shovel, smoothing it over.
And I go up there and I kneel down on one knee and dear Emma, sweet sister, my ally in all the trouble that my siblings caused us. You and I, we apparently were not of this place, yet we grew to love it so. You, who, by the lady's wisdom, has taken from this foul existence, I only hope that she has blessed you with a place at your side. Perhaps she has honored you to be a damsel alongside her. I love you, sweet sister. And tear rolls out. It's the grave.
Mm-hmm.
And I get up, I stand, and I start to walk back down.
Okay. You walk back down towards your awaiting people as it slowly begins to rain.
You villager, are they villagers or are they?
These are the people that you used to lord over.
Okay, so these are my subjects. All right, I go and as I'm walking towards Giles' body, I'm gonna grab that shield actually. I'm like, yo, we see if you can find some cloths or some try and find some shelter. Put some shelter up so that we may stay dry tonight. It is good to see you, my subjects, my people, but life will change for all of us. And I basically just tell them.
Yeah, they all look sullenly at you, Bragadine, and they set about doing as you have bid. So what is plan of action from the Fellowship at this point?
Marius would like to see if we can salvage the wagon.
Okay.
That was flipped over in the center.
I will say that, yes, you can. It wasn't badly damaged.
Okay. I'm assuming we can burn the body of Freeze.
Oh yes, yeah. There's plenty of fires already. And you're going to bury Giles. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Well, you can say that happens as well.
I'm
go ahead.
I'm going to speak with some of the different peasants and remaining men at arms and see if the butcher's around, or the surgeon, if he somehow survived.
Go ahead and give me a gossip roll.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
You there. What was the surgeon's name? What was the butcher's name? I don't remember that. I don't have it in my notes.
I think he didn't have a name.
Oh, he might be alive then. All right. What is that Empire man? Sarah, I know you know all the men around here. Perhaps you have seen him. And we got 20, and that would have been 70, 40. I got at least 2 levels of success.
2 levels of success.
Yeah.
You start asking about the butcher, the quote unquote surgeon that was attending everyone during the tournament, and Sarah. Yes, my lord, I do in fact know where you can find him. And she points over to your left, and you glance over at a pile of corpses, and you see at the top the butcher dead.
Yes, of course.
And rotting at this point.
Is there anyone here not from this village originally?
You look out over the crowd, Bragadine, and you see people that look like they have various deformities about their person, peasantry.
No, you all.
Several of the men at arms, even some of them have just a little bit, just not as bad, and they all kind of look at you dumbfounded.
Gather your things. This village is dead to us. The keep has been burned. On the morrow. Is it? I assume. Well, what time of day is it? Before I get into my big speech, what time of day is it?
It would be getting late.
All right. On the morrow, we will set out to the nearest village to here, and proceed there. For now, my companions and I see if we can see if there's anything to eat. We need to eat. We need to rest.
All right. And food is secured. You guys are able to rest. No need for a watch, anything of the sort. What is your destination? What is the plan for tomorrow?
Now, Bragadine knows that he has to flee, and he hasn't quite said that. We haven't told Seamus and Marius that.
Yes.
But yeah, this is a point. Like, I've got to flee.
Yes.
I'm about to be an outlaw.
Yeah, you pretty much already kind of alluded to it. So a day has passed. That the riders were sent out, Bragadine. It would take at least a day to get to the closest family within your your neighbors, essentially. So at this point, that rider has definitely made it.
Oh yeah,
and they are being informed. There probably will be preparation time for them to gather some men and forces, but they will be coming soon.
Oh yes.
So where are you guys going to go?
Right now, the Bragadine's game plan is basically get to another village, hopefully find a surgeon, a butcher, a doctor, and get mended to the best ability, and probably leave the subjects there as the three of us take off into the wilderness and flee.
Okay. Are you guys... So, what is the end game? Are we going back to Sealburg, or are we wandering Bretonia? That's kind of what I'm getting at.
Mayor should, at some point, probably during the evening, try to talk to his fellowship in private about what we should do. If that's allowable.
Oh yes.
In that case, Bragadine will actually fill him in on the customs here. And just,
yeah, exactly.
Marius, we unless we wish to become bandits, which I do not, and you are a man whose heart is too big, I think, to ever be a bandit. We must flee. I must flee Bretonia. It is a different place here, and my family has been destroyed, and our name is beseeched. Or smirched. I can't. You know what I'm trying to say.
Besmirched. It's fine.
Yeah, besmirched. Thank you. The other families, they will come to claim the lands that belong to Beno. And they will make sure that I cannot protest that. I wish to seek a village out to hopefully leave these. It is so strange, but for some reason they actually seem like humans to me. And I would not feel right to just leave these people who are so devoted to my family. We are their betters, of course. But still, I do perhaps take them if we can lead them to another village where they may at least have a chance to feast upon some moldy bread once in a while, or some other boon. And possibly some of the tend to my wounds. But we must be swift.
You're right, Raggedy, and we do need to leave this country. I feel that we are in danger the longer we stay.
We are. I will visit. She is the most beautiful land in all the world. But I cannot stay.
I understand that. I too have left a home that was shattered.
Then you know.
And have not been back.
Then you know. And I don't.
I'll say this. I know you have a fond memory of, or at least you did, a fond memory of Britonia. But you and Seamus, you can tell. Just look at your eyes. You are children of Sealberg. Your sister was a child of Sealberg as well. That is where we belong. And there are many things wrong there. Our family and friends are in danger, and I would hate to see what happened here happen there.
Marius, you and Seamus are the only family that I have left.
I don't think that is true. You have a family out there. Needs you. I would offer an alternative. What if you were to, these past weeks writing, I believe Seamus would probably agree, but I've seen you lead men in battle. They follow your orders. You have a good sense of the battlefield as a commander.
All Bretonian men, all nobles must be trained.
Of course. What I'm trying to say, Brackety, is it would be a shame to squander your abilities. Seamus and I are only good at one thing. But you have the talent to make people better, whether it be through your writings or through your command of your orative skills. What if we were to bring these people back to Sealberg with us? You could train them in some way to be guards, or they could be servants of some sort. You could start your own company. But we have many things wrong in our home that we need allies, and it seems Sigmar has blessed us with quite few outside these walls.
So, Marius, once again, you have earned the title, Marius the Wise. I will. Yes, I will take your advice. I do. I am so confused right now.
Do not leave these people here. As much as I disagree with the ruling style of your country, these people can become better. They just need help. We could help them in the Empire.
Perhaps. I do not know if they could be better, but I can try. Perhaps.
Yes.
You are changing, Bragadine. I have seen it. Seamus has seen it. You are not the same pig-nosed bastard who would always
pig-nosed
look down on the us lowlifes. You have softened your stance on the peasant folk. I imagine you will soften some more.
Yes, maybe. Of course you are right. I will. I must rest. I must sleep. But Marius, no, we will take them with us. I will form in the morning. I will. In fact, to honor you, I will ask them if they wish to come. It seems so strange to ask a peasant, but on the morrow we will get up at daybreak, and I will make that offer to them.
Seamus, what are you doing right now as all of this is taking place?
Just sitting there stoking the fire with my little stick.
Stoking it with his little stick, you know. Got a little pipe out, maybe.
Occasionally making a face.
Little old Toby.
Old Toby.
Airborne style, you know?
Airborne style, yeah. Okay. Eventually, morrow comes. And the people are aroused. You ask them if they'd like to come with you, and they just don't even understand why you're asking. They're following you. So you set out for, I'm assuming you're going to make your way back to Sealburg.
Yeah.
How would you like to do that? Are you going to attempt to take the normal overland route? Or are you going to
Axe Bites Pass?
At Axe Bites Pass, or are you going to try to cut over the mountains, or are you going to try to go back the way you came?
Marius would suggest to everyone, Axe Bites Pass, unless
was the message
filmed.
sent to what castle was it right there? Montfort? Was the message sent to Montfort?
In fact, there was a message sent there.
Shit. Marius, we cannot go the standard way. That would be through the standard route. Castle Montfort guards that. And I am an outlaw. They will know me. Even if we shed these colors, perhaps we could try to masquerade. That is I don't know if you know the word. It is acted as a Bretonnian word, masquerade, as
Marius shakes his head.
As pilgrims of
this is I will say this is fortuitous that you're discussing this, because you're doing this as you're moving, marching essentially. I'm assuming Braggadin's up on his horse, Seamus as well. Marius is walking by next to you, and
or in the wagon.
Yeah, or in the wagon. Yeah, we could be in the wagon at this point. It's not covered; it's just a wagon. And up ahead of you, you see a party moving in the same direction. A large, well, not exactly large, but a decent size group of people in covered wagons. And they each have like vivid things painted on the sides of them. There's several men on horseback, kind of riding next to the wagons, and many more people walking as well. They have darker skin as you begin to get closer, and you see they look like traders to Marius and Seamus. To Braggadine, these look like performers.
Troubadours.
They look like it looks like a troupe that would venture. You've heard, though you've never been to one in your own lands, and some of the other neighboring village or some of the other neighboring castles would occasionally have entertainment for the small folk. Out and about, and they would commission people to travel, and usually these people came from distant lands, less civilized than fair Bretonia. And you have come across a troupe that apparently is traveling in the same direction. But it's up to you guys if you interact or not.
Marius, Seamus. How? The lady is shown her blessing on us at least one more time. I think we should try to mingle with these people and perhaps use them as, what would you say, a disguise to make it through the pass unmolested. Let me go and, will you come with me? Let us go with, and speak to the troop leaders and see what we can do.
Okay.
As Brayden kind of walks away, Marius, I know you can probably hear this, but Marius is gonna turn to Seamus and be like, his faith is strong, but forgive me, this lady is a bitch. and move along to talk to the actors.
Okay. All right. Seamus, are you following?
No, because he's not good at mingling and gossiping.
Yeah, he's wearing his skull mask. He's got all his weapons on display. Riding his horse. The headsman is in full force here. Bragadine and Marius, you begin moving towards the troop, and they've seen your party kind of slow down, and a rider comes out to meet the two of you. Looks like a decently tall man. Their skin is very brown, very dark, in fact, darker than either of you have ever seen. Not black, but a dark brown. Like they've spent a lot of time either in the sun or they have some kind of desert heritage. They're wearing, it looks like the people that you can see are wearing very flamboyant looking colors, though it's in disrepair. There's lots of patches, and looks like great efforts have been made to conceal how old and tattered some of these garments are. But the man riding towards you is tall, and the horse is somewhat thin, and you would recognize them as horses you usually see in the Empire. Marius, you probably recognize it a little bit just from the time you've spent in Bretonnia, that their horses are much, much larger. But yes, you see this man cantering up towards you. And he says in Reichspiel, "Who goes there?"
Oh, friend. My name is... I am Bragadine, and this is Marius. We are just some travelers headed through the pass to the Empire.
You're heading to the Empire? Well, so are we.
Oh, perfect.
And he's looking over you. You're wearing like plate armor, and you have weapons on you. And you can see their caravan. They have a couple people that have weapons on them, but they have no one in armor. What? And he's starting to get a little nervous. It looks like. What business do you have there?
Going home.
Yes, we are. Right, Marius, we are from Steelberg. I don't know if you've heard of the city of Steelberg. And we have to head back. But as you know, the wilds, they can be quite dangerous. It is always safer to move in a group.
That is.
And our party, and I motion to my crew behind us. May we join you. Always safer in numbers. And also, I do not see you have enough guards. Beware, the nights here can be quite dangerous, especially if we go near the woods.
Yes. Go ahead and give me a charm roll, Bragadine.
I rolled a 2.
Ooh, okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
All right.
So it would have been like 4 or 5 levels of success, even with everything else.
Yeah, so Bragadine, you say this out, and I mean your eye is still pretty gnarly looking.
Mm-hmm. Probably look pretty tough, actually.
Yeah, and he looks at you and he says, "Well, it looks like you've seen some trouble yourself, there, friend. Why don't you come this way?"
Definitely not the boy.
I did not. Where are my manners? My mama will. She will not forgive me. I am Cavus.
Cavus? That... Are you from the southern regions? Your name, I feel like I've seen a name of like that in books. Where are you from?
Yes, we are... I'm surprised you do not know. We are known as drifters of a sort. We travel about. We put on shows for the masses.
No, I have yet to have the privilege to see a troupe such as yours, but I have definitely heard of the fine shows that groups as yourselves put on. It would
Marius,
be an honor.
I need you to give me a history check on the Empire. If you don't have it, give me intelligence.
I don't have lore.
I do.
Empire.
Do you have lore for the Empire, Bragadine?
I do.
For the Empire?
Yeah.
Do you have do you have lore Bretonia?
I do, because I do. That was something we kind of just assumed I had. Bretonia and that was a skill I picked up, though.
I do believe, unless I was mistaken, I thought we said that we could say your lore Empire was lore Bretonia.
Oh, all right. Then I don't. Let's just do that.
Yes, that's what I thought.
That'll make it easier. Let's just do that. Perfect.
Yeah. So just go ahead and give me the intelligence test, Marius.
All right, feel lightheaded. It's gonna be a fail. 67 out of 16.
Yeah. Figured it wasn't going to be very well. You don't recognize anything of the sort. You might have heard of people traveling about, but Marius is not exactly a far traveler himself. In fact, the only person who's traveled a good distance has been Bragadine, honestly. If you're not counting your ventures through the hell tunnels to all the various regions of the Warhammer world thus far. But regardless, Cavus motions for the two of you to follow him, and he leads you to the head wagon. And at this point, it's starting to get later in the day, and it looks like the wagons have stopped and are going to bed down for the night. And he brings you in to meet a elderly woman. She looks, she has like a strange head covering. She's definitely foreign, I'm judging from, and most of these people are. And he introduces her as his mama, Madame Sylvia. She has a large pipe in her mouth, and it has a significantly interesting smell of tobacco that you've never smelled before. And she's puffing away.
Do I have a hat on?
Do you have a hat on?
I believe I would.
Okay.
Thinking like a nice little... I doff my hat, and I, with a low, gracious bow, Madame, I am Bragadine. This is Marius, and we are delighted to have the pleasure of meeting you, and beg your company for the journey to the Empire.
Yes, my son tells me you travel. You wish to come with us?
Oh yes, it is always safer to travel in numbers.
Very much so. How about we cannot pay you, but we would accept protection if you can offer it.
I believe we can offer it, and the only payment would be the kindness of your company, madame.
And you see there's a twinkle in this woman's eye, Bragadine. Yes, it is the ancient's will that this is a fortuitous meeting. Go ahead, Marius.
Marius is going to whisper in Bragadine's ear, perhaps we could get some clothes.
You don't know Bretonian, bro. Damn it.
She's speaking in Reichspiel.
Yeah, but I wanted to send a message to him that she might not have understood.
Mm-hmm.
I look at Marius and I said, we have to change these colors. You are right.
And I'm assuming you guys aren't being. Are you trying to be quiet about this?
Marius is trying to be respectful, not to talk too loud.
Yeah, respectful, like quiet, but not not. We're not trying to get. I'm definitely not trying to give the appearance of being secretive.
Okay. Well, she looks at the two of you and she smiles. Fear not, friends. You're with fellow. Some might call us outlaws of a sort. We will take care of you. We're going to Whistleland.
Whistleland? I glance at Marius. Kind of. That sounds fantastic, Marius. What do you think of that? Me not knowing what it is at all, I'm sure.
I'm sorry. What did he say? Or what did she say?
She basically told you that she's going to Whistleland.
Sounds fantastic, madame.
Well, I will have Cavus and his and my granddaughter fit you with some new clothes, so you can look the part.
That would be so gracious, and perhaps the remains of our garments, although colorful, I feel they would do much better if in your possession. Perhaps you could cut them up and use them for your customs.
Don't worry. I do believe. What should I call you, Lord Beno?
No. I am.
It's at this point, Bragadine, you will have realized that you never introduced yourself, and she knows your name.
Yeah. You may just simply call me Bragadine.
Yes, Mr. Bragadine. We will handle it all. There. And she calls out, and Cavus comes and motions for you guys to leave. Seamus, unless you have anything you want to do in this moment, you guys are outfitted, all of you, during the next day. You're outfitted with new clothes that you can choose to wear or not. And you are off in the morrow. We're going to start a series of skill checks, unless you have anything to add, Seamus or Marius or anybody really.
I have a question for after Marius.
Okay.
I was just going to ask. I know it's been 2 days now. Can we recover wounds? And
yes,
such?
yes,
Okay.
you can. At this point, I'm going to say that you guys can just have your full health back. All of you.
I'm going to ask if they have a surgeon or somebody who could help me with my more severe wounds.
That a great question to ask for both Seamus and for Bragadine. In fact, Cavus's daughter, a young and very beautiful girl who goes by the name of Victoria. She has been patching up some of the men for as long as she's been able to. And she is an accomplished surgeon of a sorts. She didn't go to school, but she definitely has a talent. And your wounds and Seamus, if he so chooses, can be looked at.
Okay.
Seamus?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Be really great.
Okay. Let's go with Bragadine first.
Good luck, boys.
Bragadine, this is for your ribs.
Mm-hmm. Hole in my chest and hopefully my eye.
Yes, for your ribs, she's able to reset the bones properly.
Oh,
so after the 30
Somebody.
days, you will not have the permanent penalty.
okay.
For your eye, you're not going to be at risk of infection,
Okay.
but
That's
you're
awesome.
minus one eye.
Shit.
Your eye is useless and apparently died in the interim of when you were wounded and when you finally got medical attention. So you're at a permanent minus 10 to
Okay.
perception tests.
Does it have a wicked cool scar across it though?
And he
hope so.
does have a nasty. It is a cool scar. I'm not going to lie. And it's what's interesting is it's actually like it's actually like 4 fingers, where he like dug in above your forehead and all the way down across the eye, and the eye's kind of gone dead and white.
Yeah, it's cool.
It does look cool. It does look cool.
I will not be taking the talent attractive ever.
Probably not anymore.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
you will also have -5 to any charm rolls because you are getting
Okay.
uglier. So you can write that down.
What about his intimidation? Does he get any bonuses?
You can get a +5 to
Ooh.
your intimidation on the other side.
All right. Sweet.
He's still super charming though.
He is. I mean, he's still charming as hell. He's gonna be.
I was
He's gonna
about
be
to say,
fine.
yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
But yes, and people will have an additional 10 to hit you in combat because you don't have depth perception. You can, however, with endeavors, you can train yourself to be more functional with your eye.
Okay.
And you can negate the combat advantage and your disadvantages over time. It just takes time. But regardless, yeah, that happened. And the hole in your chest, easily patched up with no other complaint.
Perfect. I
You still have to wait the time for them to heal properly.
yeah,
but
that's
you
30
are,
days.
It's yes, which is you're almost there. It's not going to matter much longer.
Okay. I reach in and in the little purse of the little bit of money we have, and I can't believe Bragadine would ever do this. I give her 2 gold pieces and say, "Oh, sweet miss, thank you so much for your kindness."
Her
This is all.
eyes, her eyes
but-
light up as soon as you take the gold out of the pouch. Do you keep the pouch concealed, or does she see the
Yes,
pouch?
I keep that pouch
Okay.
concealed.
And you hand her the gold coins, and her eyes kind of get real wide, and yeah, she accepts them very gratefully.
By the way, real quick,
Mhm.
Bragadine, how old is she?
She is young. She's probably about the same age as your younger sister. So she's about that
Excellent.
16 years old.
Negative. All right, thank you.
Got it. You sick man.
Hey, it's Bragadine, bro.
Seamus, it is your turn after Bragadine leaves. We had just your shoulder, I believe. You didn't have any other wounds, did you? Oh, your leg.
Yeah, the kneecap.
Let's see about your knee. Your knee is sutured and repaired. It's stiff, but you think you'll make a full recovery. Your arm. It looks like most of the infection is run its course. It looks like you had a minor infection. Doesn't look like there was too much damage, however, as she cleans your wound and she applies some kind of strange solvent to it. And it smells awful. You're not exactly sure what's in it. Matter of fact, you're probably afraid to ask. And just after a few days, Seamus, not only do you not have to worry about any infection or anything like that, but after about 3 or 4 days, your wound is gone. There's a thin scar where it used to be, and you have full use of your arm as if nothing ever happened. And
sweet,
you're fine, completely fine.
Does that chance take any corruption away?
It does not take any corruption away.
Gotta take a shot, bro.
It's good. It was a good try. Good try. Next time you shoot Marius in the back, I'll give you -1 corruption. It's fine. Regardless, at this point, at this point, the three of you, I'm going to need a series of skill challenges.
All right.
Okay. Who's going first?
Bragadin will go. I feel like he's kind of leading leading the situation as it is right now.
Bragadin, I am going to need a test from you on how you're going to get through Axebite Pass unnoticed. Give me a test, any test, as long as you can explain it well enough.
I will go to my followers, and I will say, really gonna reach for Bretonnian ex-noble. Friends, we will mingle with these fine performers here, but I need all of you to play a game with me. We're going to pretend that we are also performers. They will help us change our clothes and change our appearance a little bit, but I need you to pretend you are not the subjects of the Vanille family, but just weary travelers. To do so, it would make me, your lord, oh so happy for you to successfully, with a little edge to my voice, successfully play this game. You have done so well to follow me so far. I know that you will follow my instructions again, and succeed at this.
Okay.
Leadership. Maybe. I mean.
I'll give you your leadership role. I will say this.
Charm's better at that, but I figured I feel like that's a leadership thing. I'm listening.
I was gonna say, I'll give you leadership, but it'll require more success levels. If you give me a charm, it'll just be a more regular amount of success levels.
Charm, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have a -5, so just so you remember.
All right. I rolled 23. I've only been 22. 23 under, what's that, 80, 75. So that's 5 levels of success.
Okay. All right. You're able to convince these people, and I'm going to say with that charm roll, you're able to not only to convince your people to blend in very well with the performing troupe, but also you're able to grease a few palms of some of the guards that are at the checkpoint that don't look too deeply into some of the wagons. Specifically, Seamus McCready is a hard man to disguise. Let's just put it like that.
Okay.
No matter what you put him in, he would be difficult to disguise.
Question:
What does he do as his performance? You know, like,
how much does that cost me on greasing those palms, Mr. Game Master?
It is not going to cost you anything.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm
Not
not
gonna
going to
cost you
that. Okay.
However, you manage to get through this process. In so doing, you also find out that the men at the checkpoint they're used to these people greasing their palms, and you see things exchange hands. goods exchange hands a few times from some of the wagons, and they are about their way. You hear a slang term a couple times from some of the guards when they're talking to some of them, almost in disgust, as they are arguing over prices and things like that. And it's a slang term that you don't quite understand, but it roughly translates to Stragani.
Okay.
And that is that. So, the next leg of the journey, who's up? Marius or Seamus?
Can I be teaching people how to shoot?
Sure.
All right, we'll do that since we're kind of protection, I guess.
Let's see here.
Although I don't speak the language, so I assume I have heavy disadvantages.
I will say at this point you guys have been traveling with this troop for at least a week or two, and some of the peasants are starting to pick up some words in Reichspiel. They're quicker learners than Bragadine gave them credit. Though the vast majority of them are dumb as rocks. But some of them are starting to pick up. The men at arms specifically seem to be a little bit more normal.
Yeah.
And go ahead, and we'll make this one easy. Just go ahead and give me your ballistic skill roll.
All right. 25.
25 out of just your standard ballistic skill.
Where did that? 51.
51. Okay. All right. No, not quite. Yeah, it is. Two levels of success. All right. With that, with only 2 levels of success, you do manage to teach some of the men at arms specifically on how to use ranged weapons, a foreign concept to some of them. Though some of the peasantry already know how to use a bow and arrow, as some of them were employed as hunters for the Lord Bonneau's family in the past. But you're able to show some of them the finer uses of black powder, and somehow, very strangely, some makeshift, not as good as what you got, but some older, more well-used pistols and black powder weapons are provided to these men from the Stragani. And you're able to train them so. However, during the pass, your caravan is beset by foul greenskins. Revenge, it appears, from the big choppas. And with your roll, Seamus, your men are able to hold off the majority of them, but you do lose 1 wagon, and I'm keeping track of the wagons and everything, and you lose at least 10 men in the process. All in all, not that much of a loss.
It sounds pretty terrible.
They're Bretonnian peasants.
They're Bretonnians. That's fine.
I thought we only had like 20. That's like half.
No, you have way more than 20 at this point.
Okay.
So not so bad. And that brings us to Marius Wolf. It is now your turn. Next leg of the journey after you make it through the pass. You're in Empire country now.
Okay. How much time has passed?
Several weeks have passed. You're almost to the month mark since you've left the Bonneau lands.
Do I still have my back spasms?
I would say you're probably on the fringe of them being gone, but not quite, because I want to torture you.
I figured. Okay, so we're in Empire lands currently.
Yes.
And I guess going towards Sealberg. Well, Marius. Well, Marius, I don't know. Marius can try to. I guess. Question. Would Marius be able to try to help some of the Bretonians learn the language at all? Perhaps.
You can.
I've got the linguist.
Yeah, because I mean, you're adequate at learning new languages, so I could, with enough time, I could say that you could probably teach them.
Okay. Other than that, I guess the only other thing I guess I could try is teaching him how to fight. You know, that's what Marius is good at.
Oh, well, which one do you want to do? You pick one.
I guess fight. I guess I'll try to show the men-at-arms how to
brawling.
Maybe not. Not tactics so much, but as far as like one-on-one fighting, maybe with either melee, two-handed, or brawling.
Okay, you pick which one. Just let me know which one it is.
Maybe brawling.
Okay,
I think there might be some uses for brawling.
Yeah, give me a brawl roll.
Okay. Shit. You're not gonna like this, bro. It's a natural one.
Yes! Of course it is. At some point, Marius starts his own pit fighting ring in the caravan. Every night it stops. The men-at-arms get together, and some of the Stragani join as well. And he's basically has a traveling boxing ring set up. And through trial and yes, exactly. through trial and tribulation, many of your men-at-arms become proficient boxers in their outright, and strengthen them physically as well in the process. It's a ring that you don't talk about, and you also don't talk about it.
No one talks about it.
But regardless, it does happen. It does happen. So with a critical success, that happens, and at some point, the caravan is set about by just simple bandit folk that are trying to steal away your goods, and due to the critical success, they are all fended off. In fact, 2 of them are captured, and it turns out Seamus has a roll of parchment in his pocket that has bounties on 2 of these men.
Oh shit, what luck!
Oh, do I.
And on your way passing through the Reichland into Wissenland, you're able to turn in your first 2 bounties that you've ever turned in. And you can collect 6 gold pieces, Seamus.
Oh, shit.
Nice. But is the dead or alive?
They're alive.
Oh.
Curious. Sorry, headsman. No.
Yeah, sorry. Hey, you get less for dead, dude. Would you like him to be dead? Because you don't get as much gold.
No, I'll let the hangman have a job to do.
Okay. Yes.
Oh, nice.
You know,
the noose does get its work in this time around.
The economy and stuff. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Got to keep the economy up.
Fiscally responsible. Yeah.
So there is that. Then you make it out of the Reichland. You're in Wissenland at this point. You pass through Nuln, where the troop has their performance, and you've been talking about Sealberg at this point, and they get interested. And the Stragani performers decide they're going to come with you, and they're going to come to Sealberg as well. Mm-hmm. You begin traveling through the lone journey back. A few more weeks pass. And at this point...
Probably tell them about the Iron Taggy.
Oh, yes, of course. And all of you have been talking to them, all of you have been mingling, and you've become quite friendly with them as well as the Bretonnian peasantry that are slowly but surely over the weeks no longer becoming Bretonnian peasantry. They're just becoming peasantry. Especially if Bragadine is allowing it. Is he allowing that?
Marius has touched my heart with his kind words earlier.
That's not all he touched.
And also, just trying to fill the void of losing everything.
Yes.
I've decided to allow them to be human beings.
Okay.
So gracious.
That's so gracious.
Is Marius teaching about the ways of Sigmar?
Are you, Marius? You talking about Sigmar while you're out and about?
I mean, if they're asking...
The last time Marius did that, a guy left our party in the middle of the night.
It's true. He did. He left you in the middle of the night. He just fled out in the woods. Never to be seen again.
You heathen!
Theological discussions. Yeah,
Yes.
Marius likes to have theological discussions. He'd probably talk, he'd probably talk about all the gods if he could, but
praise Sigmar, bro.
Yeah, praise Sigmar. Go with Sigmar. He probably talk about Sigmar, obviously a lot. Talk about Ulrich and Shalia.
Are you saved?
Yeah.
Are you saved, bro?
Madam Sylvia, because she tells stories at nighttime to most of the children, and at some point the three of you realize that she's actually imparting wisdom upon the younglings in the tribe, and you've discovered that this isn't a troop. This is a tribe of people. They do not have a land of their own. They are essentially gypsies. They just go around the world just getting by. And she's imparting wisdom upon them. And you are able to sit in and learn about the history of the Stragani. And they call them the older ones, the ancestors. Seamus might be more inclined to talk about his own experience with his own ancestor worship, but this is obviously something a little different, a little bit more strange. But regardless, though, you do have many discussions, especially with Madame Sylvia. At this point in the journey, you are making it close to Sealburg. You're deep into Wissenland, and you're almost to that bottom southern portion of where home lies. You're not quite to the forest yet, though.
I was about to say, if we get close to the forest, Marius is going to warn everyone about the beastmen.
Yes, yes. It's always a threat. And speaking of threats, you've passed by a few towns, and you just went through one that was completely destroyed. It looks like it burned to the ground. It's not uncommon for things to pass through. You're not exactly sure what. But what's unusual is you come to the next town. And it appears to be empty. The troop is moving in, and it's eerily quiet. There's a couple dogs barking and yapping. Let me get a perception test from one of you, and this will determine what happens next.
All right. I would like to do it. Can I use my hearing? Can I kind of see if my acute sense of danger and
let's go with eyes first. Then we'll go from there. You're at a -10 for your eyesight.
Okay.
It's still much better than probably
eight.
The two of you.
Rolled 8.
Yeah, about to say it's still probably crazy good.
Yeah. So it's still 6 plus. It would have been a 57. 8 under 57. So 4 levels of success.
4 levels of success. Okay. So Bragadine, you point out that as you're passing through, you do find some corpses. some bodies. It looks like some of them, they're just kind of laid out near the entrances to their homes. Their homes are all intact. Nothing's burnt down. Some of the doors appear to be smashed. But that's pretty much all you find here. Go ahead and I need all of you to give me an intuition test, and we'll see what's what.
Oof. Intuition.
Am I still
I
minus
failed.
20?
No, you're back to full health now, Marius. Full rolls.
Marius rolled
Bragadine.
a,
Oh wait, Marius.
Marius rolled a 25 out of 40.
Okay, and Bragadine?
One.
Bragadine appears to be much wiser and aware because he rolled 11.
Okay, good.
So, yeah.
And Seamus.
75 out of 51.
Okay, Seamus isn't paying attention. He just kind of sees some corpses, and he's just like, shrugs his shoulders. And that is that. Marius, you notice that, you specifically notice it's strange the way the bodies are laid out. It's unusual. They have weapons shattered nearby at hand, but there's only a handful of creatures that can take on a town of this size. It's not exactly a town; it's more of a small village. But and this is Marius. You would know that there's only a handful of creatures that could do this that you know of. Beastmen and orcs. And neither of them leave structures intact when they leave. The town is still very much standing, and it's not even burning. Bragadine, with a critical success, Bragadine, you notice that all the corpses are men. There's no women, there's no children, just dead men. It's all you find. Every house that you pass by. And several of the Stragani, and honestly, some of your newfound liberated Bretonians are attempting to ransack the houses as you're passing. Unless you guys try to step in, it appears that this is the custom of the Stragani.
Cabus. It's two things. First, it is very disrespectful to steal from the dead, and it is not on the battlefield.
Yes. Well, Bragadine, I know we've had these discussions more than once, but let's just say that they don't need it anymore, and call it at that.
I will agree to that, but my bigger concern. Have you noticed that there are no women and children anywhere among these corpses? It is just the menfolk.
Yes, that's quite strange.
I think we should.
Shrugs his shoulders, matter of factly.
I think it might be wise for us to have the women and children more on the inside of the column, perhaps in the wagons, or just have the menfolk on the outside. I am concerned.
That's a good idea, Bragadine. I'll pass it by Mama. And he kind of canters on ahead. And the three of you would notice that the Stragani and everyone else are bringing stuff back. So nobody looted these houses. That's what you get with a critical success. So wealth is being brought back as well.
Okay. Very interesting. Marius, there is, have you noticed that it is only menfolk? There are no women, no children, and the houses themselves are untouched.
I do now. It's strange. I do not know what would do such a thing. I've heard of beastmen and orcs in this area.
I thought both would slaughter everyone.
Are there any indications of arrows or
What do
weapons
the
possibly?
wounds look like?
Yeah.
Marius, I guess you can give me a heal check, and we'll see what the wounds look like.
Oh boy.
Nice.
Better than it is. Better than it was, I guess. 36 out of 37.
Barely a success. I mean, Marius is not exactly a doctor.
Nope.
He's just kind of looking over the corpse and of one of the nearby men that you found. It looks like he's been bludgeoned to death with a large object. That's about as much you can. He's pulpy. He's not completely intact, and it looks like most of the bodies you've come past have been bludgeoned to death, which in and of itself is also a little odd. No one's been stabbed or shot. They've all been beaten to death with a large object of some kind. All of them. Yeah.
So, okay. I'll ask this DM question.
Yes.
This is weird because Jumbo Smooth knows what did this.
Oh, he does.
He does. Would Marius hear? I don't know. I don't want to ask because I don't want to give it away. Does Marius? Would Marius have like, as like a child? Like I don't know what type of like ghost stories or
tales
legends.
Of old legends.
Yes.
Well,
legends and tales.
Give me that. You got to give me that Reichland lore. And if you don't have
I don't
it,
have Reichland lore.
Give me that intelligence because you should have taken it.
I don't think I have option to.
Seamus has Reichland lore.
Oh damn, Seamus, you give me it then.
Okay.
All right. That is a natural 1.
Oh shit.
Yes.
Seamus, you're kind of just quietly in the back, kind of listening to all of this unfold, and you're passively looking at the bodies as you're walking by. Bragadine's kind of prattling on like he always does. Marius is kind of like matter-of-factly staring at a dead thing, poking it a couple times. You see several of the Stragani come back with like necklaces and things. It's a small village. It's not exactly super wealthy, but they have like silverware and stuff with them. Anything that they think they can fetch any kind of price for, they're bringing out to one of the wagons. And you hear this conversation between Marius and Seamus about like how they died, and specifically they were all beaten to death. Coupled with the other information you've uncovered, you think you might have heard stories long, long ago when you were just a wee lad, possibly from a traveler passing through, of demons in the mist that would come and snatch away the women and take the children for slaves and for sacrifice. Not beastmen, but actual demons reincarnated. But that's what you get. With extremely obscure information. You do not know the name of these creatures. But you do at least know the tale.
I've heard stories growing up. I assumed it was to scare us kids, but that these demons would come and take the women and the children. Not beastmen, Marius. They always refer to them as demons. That was it. I never got a name. I assumed it was just to scare us kids. Perhaps they were true.
We need to get in a defensible position, I think. Is there mist around us?
Yes. There's no mist. There is no mist.
Okay. Yes, let's leave. I do not want to linger here.
All right. You leave this place eventually. You come to the next town. It's fine. There's people there. Nothing's going on. Your Stragani tried to unload a bunch of stuff they just stole from the previous town, and they do accept it. All of these things are going on, and eventually you make it to the outcrop of the forest that leads to Sealburg. You end up having to bed down for the night before you get there. It is going to be it's just a day's ride, or more like half a day's ride, and you will be in Sealburg. The long journey. It's been several months at this point. It's been almost 2 months since you've left Bretonnia. And then you'll remember it was like a week or so before you even got to Bretonnia. So you've been gone for quite some time. The desire to get home is palpable between at least Marius, as he has many people waiting on him, while Seamus is reflecting on what has transpired and what might be waiting on him upon his return, and Bragadine struggles with family and what it means to be a leader. Do the three of you ever take watches during the night?
Bragadine does sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. A lot of brooding for him right now.
All right. Marius?
Ooh, we can brood together.
Marius probably would take watches,
Okay. At some point during the night, Marius, when you are on watch, and several other men from the caravan, because this is a large group now, you have at least 60 to 70 people, not counting this is including your men-at-arms and yourselves. So you have a large group of people. You're able to really make a full camp every night. And so Marius, you're up taking watch, especially after the events of a day or two ago when you found the empty villages and the one that was massacred. And it's late. The moon is in full view, and Morsleb is peeking around the side, the green chaos moon, starting to show just tendrils of its awakening. And Marius, you look out, and you see something shifting in the nearby woods. You see a large snout poke out from the trees. White as snow. Blue piercing eyes of a direwolf poke out and look at you. This is probably at least 100 to 200 feet away. Good distance, but you see it plain as day.
Is it the same wolf that I saw in the Elvenwood?
It looks similar.
Marius would, I guess, if he's alone, would probably just kind of stare back at it.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not hostile.
No.
He's probably not going to do anything
It
aggressive towards it.
It howls loudly. Then it turns around and moves back into the forest.
Marius is going to follow.
Okay. You get up, Marius, and you begin to walk away from camp, and one of the Stragani... Hey, Marius, where are you going?
I need to go take a walk.
Be careful. Don't go too far.
Thank you. He nods and
All right.
we'll head off to the
guy
woods.
Turns around, and it looks like he's stoking a small fire, and there's a couple other guys gathered around, other watchmen. And you begin to walk out to the woods. as you hit the edge of the woods, Marius, you moved a step forward. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode of Rise of the Forsaken.
Shit.
Oh, man.
Oh, Mary's story.
What has happened? What is going to happen?
Mysterious Marius.
Mysterious Marius. Mysterious Marius. Man. Well, you killed Freeze. I'm proud of you. Let's go ahead and get our...
A
couple times, actually. He killed him like 3 or 4 times
We
at this
killed
point.
him. Hopefully he's dead. Chopped his head off finally.
His head got chopped off. He's dead at this point. So, we will go through favorite moments from the cast and crew.
Oh, I'm going to lead. I'm going to lead with that. That was Marius's speech to Bragadine the night before we set off to leave Bretonia. I was like, I did not expect any of that. I mean, Jumbo Smooth, you really just brought some great roleplay game. I mean, there's a lot of other moments, but I was like, oh man, this is good. So I was furiously writing while you were saying, I was like, oh shit, this is so good. So that was absolutely my favorite moments was Marius's speech to get Bragadine out of his funk.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good. How about old Jumbo Smooth there?
I split. I really did enjoy the Seamus shooting Freeze in the face, especially the second time. I thought it sounded pretty cool. I could picture it very vividly. I enjoyed that. Also, I enjoyed the little, caravan trek.
Yeah, that was awesome. Actually,
I enjoyed that part.
Really
I enjoyed the little events and such. And yeah, I like that part.
Yep. Nobody got dysentery. I mean, damn it.
Nope.
So
Writing got a cool dead eye now.
Yeah, exactly. Got that dead
I'm pretty
eye.
stoked about that. Yeah.
You pop that eye out, get a glass one, huh?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Roll
around in your head like what's his name from Harry Potter? Yeah.
Shit.
A Warpstone eye, that'd be cool.
Yeah, get one from Mother Inga. She'll craft it for you.
I'm sure there'll be no repercussions on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Get rich enough, you just put like a ruby in there or something.
Hell yeah. Hell
yeah,
do it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome. That's fantastic.
Yeah. No, that's Bragadine style right there.
It is.
How about old Seamus McCready? Favorite moments of the night?
I want to be selfish and say when I killed my first boss.
Yes. The first time.
Usually, in true Marius style, he shows up at the end and steals all the kills.
It's true.
So,
he does.
It was
he does
nice.
it often.
It was nice.
That was you.
Well, kill steal. You're always getting the assist. You're the assist guy.
Yeah. Hey,
You're always setting him up. You're that Larry Bird. You're setting him up.
Well, Jordan always needed Pippin.
Exactly. See.
Yep. There you go. There you go.
Then Marius is laying on his back, and I'm standing over him, like get up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, how the tables have turned. It's fantastic. How the mighty have fallen. For me,
I knew something was up.
Yeah, you definitely knew something was up.
I was like, yeah, got cut off that goddamn head. Cut the damn head.
I thoroughly enjoy the RP stuff, especially once we got to the caravan riding out. I personally enjoyed that as well. That was good stuff. So, but yeah, that is going to be that for Rise of these Forsaken for the night. Viewer decision, since last week we did not have one, since it was very, very upsetting. I need to know from all of you out there in the YouTubes and the comments section, if you've made it this far. First off, thank you very much for watching and for sticking with us. Second off, I need to know your decision time. Which one of the Fellowship is going to get a special, loving, tender visit from someone close to them. Your option is Bragadine, Marius, or Seamus.
Do any of us have anybody close to us left?
Oh, you will have someone close to you, regardless. Don't you worry.
Seriously?
Don't you worry. So, I need to know which one of them is going to feel the tender embrace of someone close to them. And by tender,
I don't like the sounds of that.
that can go as many ways as I need it to. So,
Like tender eyes.
yes. So, yes. Regardless, though, thank you very much for watching. It's been awesome. We enjoy the comments, so do leave them. Even if you're not voting for the decision, go ahead and leave comments down below, and we will do our best to read them and to respond to those we can. As usual, I have been Jumbo Thick. This has been Rise of the Forsaken. Thank you very much for watching, and we are looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a good day.